Hey everyone, happy Thursday or Friday Eve, as we like to call it. We got some storms that are popping up in the River Valley. Meteorologist Zach Gilday, along with myself, sounding congested and stuffed up. We're just powering through, aren't we, Zach?
Yeah.
So here's a look. We'll take a look at Mega Doppler right now. We're going to kick it off right away. If you're wondering what tie I got on, I don't have a blowing blowing snow, a flash freeze, all that other stuff, but I got the lightning tie on, and that's very fitting considering what we've got out there on Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler. Now, at the moment, these storms are elevated. And what we mean by that is they are higher up above the ground. So the tornado potential will continue to increase throughout the night. But having these storms a little early, that works, meaning that might lessen the surface based instability. That's what we're hoping for.
I think it definitely will.
Yeah.
But we're going to have to watch.
We're going to have to watch these storms. So, how about that for developing really fast? I mean, my goodness, these storms popped up dramatically quick. But we knew that. We knew that was going to happen. We got a severe thunderstorm warning just to the east of us, looks like in the Russellville area. So, just the beginning stages now of severe thunderstorm potential. And so, yeah, a lot of schools canceling already. A lot of things that are already happening. Now, I will say this: I'm kind of considering the wraparound might be a little less, but I think everybody can hear me. Hopefully, Levi says audio, but I think the audio is okay. I looked, and the um, models are definitely a lot less on the wraparound, but I make sure the mic is not muted. Let me know if you can hear me real quick. We'll get one comment to see if we have good audio. So I've just been kind of missing the tornado tie. That's good news. Good audio for me. Okay, good. That's enough. You don't have to comment anymore. Awesome. Yeah, we got a lot of people commenting. Wow, look at this. 890 people now.
Wow,
A
yeah.
lot of people chiming in. So let's kind of give you the breakdown of this. We've got thunderstorms that are popping up. We're watching them close. There's some lightning, definitely a lot of cloud to ground lightning that is occurring in the River Valley, and some heavy rain. Currently not severe, but some small hail not out of the question. For Rudy, just a little west of Rudy, you're going to notice on Heil Heating Cooling Mega Doppler near Cedarville, we got a little bit of small hail. That's not big enough to cause severe thunderstorm potential at the moment. However, that could change as these storms are continuing to evolve. Look at that, Zach. Rain before 9 o'clock in the evening in Washington County. Good old models underdoing it again with the amount of the dynamics that are in place.
Kind of thought there might have been some rain.
Yeah, I don't think we checked it. So here's a little bit of a rotation that's just south of Waldron. If we look at this, this is where the area is going to be most likely where we have that tornado potential, because the latest Storm Prediction Center outlook does have that risk in Scott County. And we'll take a look at the wraparound too. I will say the wraparound snow potential is a lot less. So is my video frozen? Oh, no. Let's see. Video frozen? No, we're still good here. So that's good. Sometimes that can happen. And it could be, internet issues as well, Tish. Okay, good. Video not frozen. Perfect. You just never know what's happening behind the scenes because what we see might be different. So here's the severe weather risk. You see a level 3 the farther south you go into Scott County. And then you got a level 2 that's happening in LaFleur County, as well as Sebastian, Southern Franklin, and Johnson County. And then a level 1, meaning little less, because the instability is having trouble making its way northward so fast. There's the level 3 that's clipping southeastern Scott County. If we look at the tornado potential, this is the very latest one. Northwest Arkansas doesn't really have that threat, which is good news, at least as of now, because the instability hasn't made it that far north. However, the River Valley and especially Scott County, where we're seeing that even though it's not much of a shower, it does have a little bit of that rotation with it. That's in Scott County. So that's what we're going to have to watch. See, look at that right there. That's definitely the leading edge of that shear. There is some surface-based instability too, as well.
I think that's the area to watch.
That's the area for sure. Scott County, Logan County. We can check out those storms too from our WeatherBug Network camera at Mount Magazine. Looking off to the west, looks like we're shrouded in clouds right now and totally stormed in. So let's see here. Yeah, it is connected. Let's go here to a west view. Yeah, totally shrouded in clouds. So not much of a view there. You know what that tells you, Zach, is that the surface-based moisture is starting to increase a little bit more. So
Yeah.
something to
You
watch
saw
for
some
sure.
lightning.
And some rain as well on the Mount Magazine weather
Yeah.
bug camera. Okay, good. So we know the camera's
It's
working.
working.
So a strong tornado or two, not out of the question. And you can see that that's clipping southeastern Scott County. There's also a hail threat, and that's a little bit farther north for the elevated storms. That's going to be over northern LaFleur County. Let's go back to Mega Doppler, take a look at what's happening. Severe thunderstorm warning. This, by the way, as you can see, goes until it looks like 9 o'clock. So 46 minutes remaining on that severe thunderstorm warning. Moving northeast at 40 knots, quarter size hail, and wind gusts. Not really as much of a factor. It's more of a hail threat. There's a storm that's in Yell County that might be potentially the next one to become severe, and definitely a lot of lightning with some small hail that's possible moving into the southwest side of Fort Smith. So no severe weather at the moment. That's good news. So let's take a look at what we've got coming in overnight tonight, shall we, Zach?
Let's do it.
All right. So, yeah, that's right. QLCS is very low probability. We'll take a look at some of that stuff. I was looking at the meso analysis. Sorry for the Kleenex, but my nose just keeps running, just like the precipitation that's going to be falling out there.
Yeah.
I am the weather lab. Oh, someone's asking if Kathy Bullock is home. But no, we're in the weather lab. We're watching these storms closely. Let's get to what you want to know about is overnight tonight and into tomorrow morning. Now, here's the problem with this storm. It's developing as it goes right on top of us.
Yeah.
So when that happens, a lot of things can change. You could have less precipitation because the storm isn't evolved enough and it moves over really fast, or you could have more precipitation, right, Zach?
Right.
It's just singled you out there.
Yeah. So speak up.
All right. So here's a look at what we've got for the future track, and you're going to notice that precipitation, it's already caught up now for the thunderstorms that have developed at 8 o'clock. So it's doing a little better job on that. Now there is additional energy swinging in, and this is where the storms could become a little more intense. We can see them right about here at 11 o'clock and midnight. Storms in northwest Arkansas. Got some hail in Russellville reported. Jeremy, thank you so much for that. Pardon me. I got to get Kleenex here real quick. It's going to be tough to talk so much. All right. So there is a look at midnight on Friday. Clearly, temperatures, like I was mentioning, would be lower 50s, didn't I, Zach? We said it.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen. Our high temperature tomorrow, which we have on the 7-day, as 50 degrees. Now, that's a little misleading, but that's because that's the 24-hour high temperature. And we're in a forecast contest, and we've got to talk about the 24-hour high temperature, which will be shortly after midnight. The pavement in Siloam is all wet. Means it's coming. It means the pavement's sweating. You got it. So here's a look at the future track showing that. So here's that moisture return that's taking place. So look at the thunderstorms coming to an end. Then the cold front starts moving in. And so we're looking at storms to start moving out by about 3, 4 o'clock in the morning. And the cold air starts marching in pretty quickly about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, starts knocking on our doorstep. And then notice how that's just a very thin layer of snowfall. So what we mean by that is a little thin sliver of what we call wraparound. So the models have definitely lessened the amount of wraparound. We're talking a dusting to maybe as much of an inch. However, remember that this storm is evolving, and so there could be even more energy that shows up that it doesn't have on there. Now, one thing I think is against that is the speed of the system. This system is moving, and it's going to be out of here by tomorrow afternoon.
Yeah. So I think the big story with the winter weather isn't the snowfall totals.
No.
It's the big cool down.
Yeah.
And Peyton was asking, has the 7 a.m. temp changed? I think we kept it pretty similar to what we had last night.
Yeah.
But I think the hour to watch as far as like the Interstate 49 corridor is 6 a.m. I think that's the time frame where the temperatures should get down to below freezing.
Yeah.
And we've been talking about that flash freeze, and that's looking like it could potentially happen. So any areas that get rain tonight, this evening, That's going to freeze tomorrow morning.
We got a storm that's getting close to severe near Mountainburg. We'll check that out real quick. We got a camera that we can look at. The dreaded wraparound. So wraparound is always really tough. Daniela, I can say flurries will not continue into Saturday evening. Roads will be cleared by Saturday evening. There's nothing going on Saturday, and I think we even see a little bit of sunshine before clouds start rolling back in before the next system. I don't know about Gravette schools, but I think a lot of other schools are going to follow suit. Gravette's going to be colder a lot faster, so the likelihood of more precipitation happening there is probably better. So let's look at the Fort Smith Public Library. You can see the low-level jet kicking in too. And here's a look at the lightning. We'll see occasional lightning flashes. In the meantime, I am going to get our WeatherBug Network camera loaded up in Mountainburg, and let's see if we can get a view of this cell that had a little bit of hail that was approaching just west of Mountainburg. So we'll take a look at that. Oh yeah, there it is. I just saw it. Very slow connection on the camera. Let's see here.
Is that the area that's in the hatched for the hail?
It's a little bit north of that.
Just north?
Just a little bit north of the hatch. Yep, southwest view. Okay, there we go. So let's we'll let that load up, and that's going to be, if there is going to be a severe thunderstorm warning, it's going to be associated with this cell right here that's approaching west of Mountainburg, very close to Chester. So it's north of Cedarville, kind of in some rural areas here. Let me look at something real quick. Oh, I guess we don't have small cities on there. I got to load those up. Hold on just a second. GR-X, GR2 analyst version 3, small cities. There we go. Let's see if there's anything on there. No, all small, all pretty rural out there. So this is basically in between Mountainburg, Chester, Natural Dam, and Lee Creek. That's going to be the storm. If there is severe potential, it's going to be that one right there. We're talking quarter-size hail. It's getting bigger, and a lot of lightning with it associated with it as well. So, all right. Texas parents want to know safe window for time for kiddos to return to Fayetteville. So we got something interesting that's happening with the system on Sunday. The models did what we call a pump fake. At least some of the models did, not all of them. But there's a look at I'm going to show you that as well, but we've got to get through this severe weather threat before we can get to the winter weather potential. I still think if you leave Saturday, that's the best day to go. If you leave Sunday, you better get out early because there's a chance that the precipitation comes in a little earlier than expected. We'll be watching it and keeping an eye on that. Raining in crosses. Yes, it is. Southwest Madison County, we already got that rain popping up. Notice how the farther north you go, the lightning dissipates. Now, I got to show you this real quick just to finish this. There's the wraparound, and see, as Zach was mentioning, the flash freeze potential is high. What that means is you got temperatures that are going to drop dramatically with potential for wet roadways. Even if we only see a dusting to an inch, if it's wet enough and it comes down heavy enough, it'll accumulate briefly on the roads, and then it's going to freeze. So we don't know exactly how the roads are going to respond. I think the schools are canceling proactively a little bit ahead of time. But look at that. Already at 10 o'clock, you're in the mid-20s. At that point, doesn't matter how warm it was the day before, you will get freezing on the roadways. And then it moves out. So the winter weather advisory only goes until 10 o'clock in the evening, or 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. Russellville is getting hail. Is the weather severe in Fort Smith? No, it's not. We'll go back to Mega Doppler, and then we'll take a look at what's happening for the weekend and how the models have really trended downhill.
We got an update on that line, Dan. Special weather statement.
Yeah. Which one? There's two lines.
The one
going through Fort Smith?
Yeah, the one right now through Fort Smith. Okay. Northeast, 45 miles per hour.
That's what I got.
Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour and nickel-sized hail.
All right, so let me place the marker here. Let me set that storm motion.
We get some questions about tornado potential.
Yeah, I understand that. The tornado potential right now is not in place for us except for Scott County. That's about the only spot. What the heck
But later on tonight,
is going on here?
that, that's going to change.
Yeah, that might change overnight tonight. Yeah, it's not 535 knots to the northwest. Here, I'm gonna set the storm motion so I can get it good because there's no warning. Well, there's a warning over here, so I'll set the storm motion from this warning. There we go. 40 knots to the northeast. Yep. All right. So there we go. Look at that hail size. So this will be, if there is a severe thunderstorm warning, which there could be very soon, it's going to be over southeastern Washington County, northeastern Crawford County, and into western Madison County. And the reason that it's going to cover those three counties is because it's moving so fast. This storm is kicking at about 50 miles an hour. So flying into XNA tomorrow afternoon, I think that's going to be okay, honestly. I really do. I think the system moves out. I think sunshine will be out tomorrow afternoon before sundown because this system is so fast and it wraps up, but it kicks off to the east, similar to the system that we saw on Tuesday. Nothing here in Springdale yet. Logan had a great question. What exactly does a special weather statement mean? It's less than a severe thunderstorm warning. That's right. But it's something that they're watching, meaning this could ramp up to severe potential. Now, Zach's actually doing a storm track on this, and we'll give you the idea on the timing that this moves in. And so there you can kind of get an idea as it moves through winter. It looks like coming in. Well, there's a big flash that I was seeing. Harrison at 9:53. So that's on the northern end of the line. So that's a little ways out, but it shows how fast it can move. How about Witter at 8:54 and Barling at 8:36? So that kind of gives you an idea with that line. It's along that line that we'll see that potential for storms. Okay, so yeah, Brendan, I'm gonna have to agree with that. They're getting earlier and earlier for canceling school, but I really think that system on Friday of last week kind of threw everyone for a loop.
Yeah.
The way that came down so fast. Yeah, so. All right, let's get to real quick, and then we'll bounce back to the severe weather potential. Before that, I'm going to mute the microphone because I got to blow my nose, and you don't need to hear that. But we'll look at the radar here briefly. Okay, got the nose blown. All right, so here's a look at Mega Doppler. One quick look. There's the storms. Nothing severe. That's interesting. A TBS is showing up on this. Is that a false trip? Let's see. Place marker here. Yeah, I don't know. Let me de-alias that. A lot of shear. I think there's some non-uniform beam filling that's going on there because if you look, yep, there's the velocity trip. It's off of there, but that's suspect right there. That looks interesting. No, that's not true. That's 521 feet. If that's true, we got to watch that. So, anyways, we're looking at this. The reason that I don't think it's a true couplet is because we're 500 feet off the ground. Okay, you can see the TVS, which is the tornadic vortex signature. However, it's not co-located with the reflectivity, so you can see how it's way out ahead of it. So that tells me that the radar is picking up non-uniform beam filling, which can give it bad erroneous velocity data, which this shows way out ahead of the storm. And so I just don't think that that's a true couplet right there. But Zach's getting mic'd up just in case. You also look at this. This is just really strange looking. Yes, that's very strong rotation. But the problem is that you go up a couple tilts and it's totally gone. So I don't think that that is a velocity couplet. Do you see what I mean, Zach?
Is it co-located?
It's not co-located at all. No, because the reflectivity is west of it. It's by itself. And you look at the velocity here, the velocity image. We could do a split screen if you want to see. So we'll do one here. Very noisy signal. Look at the correlation coefficient. There's all sorts of stuff getting kicked up there. And that's definitely not a very clear-cut velocity couplet. So see how it's not co-located at all?
Yeah.
Yeah. So little tricky. Sometimes weather can be tricky like that. But I'm not seeing that as a part of it. No PTDS. Let's look at spectrum width. See, the spectrum width is noisy too, and it's right on the leading edge, not co-located with reflectivity. So, all right. So something to watch right there. Yeah, it could be side lobe contamination. Radar does look messy, but I do think, yeah, and look at this velocity now showing up as red. There is just no way. That would be a very, very, very strong circulation. Yeah, I don't think so. Not co-located. Anything going on in NWS chat at all?
Just the special weather
Okay,
statement.
all right. Big hail in Spyro. Okay.
Oh, wait, actually, no, Dan. I got a mesoscale discussion.
40% chance of a watch. Okay. So, yeah, advanced terminology, but I'm just walking you through it. Why you see a tornado vortex signature on there, and it looks very menacing, but then you try to co-locate it with the reflectivity, meaning where the rain is, and it's not co-located. So it tells you that there is some erroneous radar data on there. But if you look at it at first glance, it looks pretty ominous. All right, let's go back to the full radar here. A lot to go on here. But yeah, some very heavy rain coming down in Huntsville, just to the southwest of Huntsville, quite a bit of thunderstorm activity. We'll look at the lightning has definitely increased for those storms to the south. Now, the farther north you go, the storm activity kind of drops off. So let's take the camera, we'll point it to the southwest and see what we get. See if we get any type of lightning with it. Boy, Zach, those storms popped up fast, didn't they?
Yeah, they're saying that Crawford County storm,
Yeah.
or at least 7 minutes ago or 8 minutes ago, approaching severe.
Okay.
Do you think that's still strengthening, or
I think it's weakened a little bit. Yeah, the hail core has
Yeah.
dissipated a little bit, but it could be that it's cycling and it's in the middle of cycling. So, and then look, now the TVS is gone, so the radar loses the TVS. There's no more reflectivity couplet or anything like that. So that was a false trip on the TVS, tornado vortex signature. Okay, here we go. Zach, I'm going to take over here. We're going to show you the temperature drop because we got a lot of people concerned about what's happening tomorrow, rightfully so. A lot of schools already canceling. I haven't really been able to keep up with exactly who's canceled, but you can get all that data on, and you can get all those closings on knwa.com. You can also download our Weather Authority app and the news app. We have all those closings on there. You can also see them at the bottom of your screen. There is the temperature drop. So we are starting off in the low 50s. Then we fall into the 40s and 30s. And look at how fast that is. From 4 to 8, we drop about close to 20 degrees. And we might not be cold enough, honestly, on these temperature drops. And then you can see we're hovering in the lower 20s. There's the precipitation that's popping up, 80%, 60%, and then kind of ramps back up. And the reason for that is we've got thunderstorms, and then we've got snow. So now the snow, I'm going to be honest with you, I'm not impressed with the snow at this point. With that being said, there can be thunder snow that takes place with this type of system. We can actually see the system organizing to the west. It is very intense, and it is developing rapidly. And look at how far out ahead of the actual system that you're getting the lift. That's why when we show you those vorticity maps, you can see the spin right here, but it's out ahead of it that you get all the strong lift in association with the system. Plus, you notice this right here on the water vapor, we're getting the nose of the dry punch right there that's firing up those storms. You see that? Now there's another piece of energy that's swinging in, and that's right here. That's what's expected to develop the second round of storms tonight. That's where the severe weather potential could ramp up a little bit more. So far, no thunderstorms that are severe. Um, and I think once this energy does swing in, that's when we're going to see that potential for the severe weather when the bulk of the upper level support comes in. Look at that. You can really see it on
I
this
think
water
the
vapor.
tilt of that trough is going to turn negative.
Yeah.
That's what they were saying.
So we got a negative tilt on the trough. Now you see this right here, this leading edge of the nose, the dry punch. This is that orange colored air. That is warm mid-level air. That's why it looks warmer on water vapor. These are colder cloud tops. But what you see here is called the trowel. It's a trough of warm air aloft. You're learning a lot about new meteorology terms. But a trowel is a trough of warm air aloft, and it's right at the nose of that trough. That's where you get the potential for thundersnow. And right now, we're going to watch that as that continues to evolve and develop. But personally, the reason that the models are lessening the snow totals, which we'll show you, is because of the speed of the system. It's so fast, and as it moves out, it's not going to provide a lot of wraparound. So wraparound precipitation isn't as heavy as the warm conveyor belt precipitation that fuels a lot more moisture. So now the models are even less. They get less and less and less and less. So this is just not going to be, in my opinion, a major snow. Look at that. They're dropping even more and more. So, and that doesn't surprise me with the speed of the system. See, it's all about not just the track, but it's also about when the storm intensifies. And right now, that storm is intensifying over us, which means that wraparound isn't going to fully develop yet.
Yeah.
But the temperature is going to drop, Zach. We know that. There's no doubt about that.
Even though the snowfall totals don't look that impressive, tomorrow morning travel definitely could have some impacts.
Could be impacted if there's wet roadways. Right now, the roadways, obviously are dry in some spots, but not in others. So the ice potential as far as like freezing rain, 0. Now, there could be a little bit of sleet mixing in with the snow very briefly. Schools closed for nothing. We don't know that yet. Nighttime possible tornadoes. Absolutely, especially in the river valley. So if you're just hopping on here, we'll take a look here at the severe weather threat. I understand you're more concerned about ice than snow, but you have to have some stuff on the ground in order for ice to develop.
Yep.
So Sunday storm pump fake, major pump fake by the models. Just started coming down heavy in Wesley. Cindy, let's show you that real quick.
Is that a new TDS?
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, it's way out.
Because it's way out ahead of it.
Yeah.
It's another one of those off the leading edge, and there must be so much stuff getting kicked up. Oh yeah, on the leading edge of that. You know what's happening? There's this very strong winds and a gust front, and you're kicking up a lot of dust, and you're probably having a lot of insects that are flying. And so if we look here, this is going to be, it drops it off. There's no biological right there, but you can tell there's just all sorts of stuff happening on that. But that's a bunch of dust and dirt getting kicked up, Zach, because look at how low the CC is.
Oh, yeah.
So the radar doesn't have a clue what's going on there. Ooh, nice little lightning. But we just heard Wesley is getting a downpour. So here's the storm that's in Fayetteville. There's Wesley. So no storm of severity or anything like that. There's no severe storm on that. There's a little bit of a storm activity. So we'll do a little bit of a radar tour for you guys. We'll start it off from Alabama, Huntsville, Wesley, Japton, Durham, Brentwood, Winslow. Speaking of Winslow, Got a little downpour, don't you? And probably some small hail.
Yep, we got the hail just started pounding here about 33 seconds ago.
All righty. Well,
That's
we're
pretty good.
we're doing a little live update. What's the size of the hail?
I'd say dime to nickel.
Oh, dime to nickel, huh? That's pretty good size. Just a little under severe though, but yep.
Oh, it's coming. Yeah, it's coming in off the lake.
How credible was that? How fast it developed, huh?
No kidding.
It developed.
I just got undercover, just unloading the truck.
All right. Well, I'm doing a live update right now, so I'll let you go. But hey, we got a live report here from Winslow, so thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You got it, Dan.
On
Thanks.
Devil's Den. That's a good. This is a really good question. Can you explain the criteria for an alert day, Zach?
Well, something that has significant impacts. So we usually issue the alert day 24 hours out
Yeah.
at maximum. And as you can see on the 7-day, we have a stay tuned, and that's the precursor to an alert day.
Because there still is some uncertainty as the storm could weaken. Now, we didn't go alert day for this system on Sunday, even though it was showing a lot of precipitation. Now it's kind of trended down a little bit, and both models, the GFS and the European and the Canadian, they're all kind of trending a little lower.
Yep.
Because there's just a lot of uncertainty. The system could move through a lot faster. But anyways, there's your forecast, and you see 53, and you might be going, well, why is that going to be freezing? Well, that's because, and this is the struggle that we deal with when you have a high temperature and a low temperature for the 24-hour period.
Yeah.
Well, what do? You got to show two temperatures. Well, in our forecast contest, we got to have the high for the 24-hour day and the low temperature for the 24-hour day and from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. So it's a struggle, but 53 is the midnight high temperature, basically shortly after midnight. And then the front comes through. And so we'll be in the 20s during the late morning into the afternoon.
What about temperature it is right now?
I'm guessing it's going to be in the 50s.
In dew points, I'm kind of wondering about
Yeah,
that
let's
too.
look at that. It's a good idea.
Okay, so when in doubt,
57.
57. 53, I think that's pretty good bet.
Very
Pretty good.
realistic, including since it rained in the River Valley at 53.
Yep.
So, yeah, still shows that TBS. I don't buy that at all. And there's a little bit of rotations. Now, this I do buy. Okay, so listen up, Scott County. This is a little more suspect right here because this is where that rotation area is, and it's right along the leading edge of the line. And we can see this right here. This is called a descending reflectivity core. And so what that tells you right there is this could be the beginning stages of a QLCS tornado. How do we know that? Because this right here is called, wow, that was a really good bolt on our Huntsville Weatherbug Network camera. This is called a descending rear inflow jet, which basically kicks out ahead of the storm. And if we look at a 2-panel here, that makes sense. There's a circulation there, there's a circulation there, and there's a circulation there. Now, the deal is, Zach, is I was looking at the Storm Prediction Center and the mesoanalysis, and it shows 50 knots, 0 to 3 kilometer.
Yeah, and that's one of the parameters that we look at for QLCS.
For QLCS tornado potential. Check this out. And I'm going to bring this up. 55 knots.
Yeah, so even if it's not line
exactly perpendicular, yeah. And you might be going, what are you talking about? I'm going to bring this up here for you real quick. So we're going to kind of geek out a little bit. I think I'm going to move that graphic right there. But anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen here with this. This is the mesoanalysis. Here is a look at the 0 to 3 kilometer shear along with that's max theta E, but we'll do this. We'll do some MU cape and some mixed layer cape. So the cape's coming back, clearly. That was a really fast return on the instability. But we're looking at 55 knots. So that means the line could be oriented anyway from this way to this way. And we have that right now, especially with that storm in Scott County. So if we look at some composite reflectivity. There's the surface-based instability trying to come back. The true warm sector is a little south. Let's see if that starts returning north. It does, Zach. So we're going to have to keep our guard up.
So if we get surface-based cape, and if we get the line normal, and
Yeah.
if we get is it balanced?
Yeah, UDCZ balanced, which, by the way, that's balanced. Yep.
Yeah. So that's the area to watch.
We're totally geeking out here, but we're letting you know the scientific aspect behind predicting tornadoes and QLCS tornado potential. See, look, there's the tornado potential. It's increasing dramatically. Wow, that actually goes up quite a bit over us.
Yeah.
So Northwest Arkansas, not out of the woods either. This storm, it's got a rapidly changing environment. Those are the ones that I just don't like. It kind of reminds me a little bit of how fast that instability returned for, March 30th, 2022, the Springdale tornado. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but whoa, look at the low level. This is the 0 to 3 kilometer cape. Look at how fast that returns too with storms. So we got to watch. We got to watch this very closely. We cannot let down our guard. So, all right, we're going to remove that for now. So yeah, we're really kind of diving into the weeds on that. So going back to this, now that you saw all those parameters, these are two areas right here that could potentially start to rotate. That's Polk County, southeast of Mena, Scott County. See how I said we were just barely going to possibly get clipped? That's going to possibly clip us, but then it moves out. But remember, there is more energy swinging in. In fact, look at this. Look at all these thunderstorms popping up now.
It's moving in.
It's moving in. So we got a lot to go. Now, a lot of people are still tuning in for what's happening later on for Sunday. Honestly, I don't really want to cover Sunday a whole lot. I know you want to know about it. There's a lot of uncertainty behind this. The models are taking this system out pretty quick. Here's the reason why we're watching this. So a new severe weather statement just popped up, Zach, or a special weather statement. Go to the NWS chat. Look at the latest messages. That's going to be for Sebastian and Washington County. Yep, that's for that area. Tulsa, yeah, some storms popping up, but that's not where the most of the energy is. So here is the system coming through tonight. See how that system rapidly races east? And then by the time the wraparound's able to develop, it's out of here. Man, that system is too fast to bring major snow. What does Tulsa show right now? So that's a good question. We'll get to that very soon. Here is, before I just don't want to get off track, this is the system that comes in on Sunday. So, yeah, a little bit of light snow, potentially a few inches of accumulation, maybe 2 to 4. And then the system's like gone, according to the European, in the early morning, and then nothing else develops. So that is a big rapid change in terms of how fast that energy moves in. So here's a look at that system coming in, and there's all sorts of uncertainty with the strength of the vorticity, the amount of lift and all that stuff, and how fast it zips in. So we just can't do anything about that right now. Let's get back to Tulsa here because we had a question about that. So here's a look at Tulsa. We've got a line of storms. I haven't switched the radar from Tulsa. TJ saying no snow tomorrow. It's a pump fake. It's possible. I think we'll see some, but man, we definitely will get some rain and storms though. So the big drop in temperatures is what's going to be the issue. And that doesn't happen very often where you get a dramatic drop like that. But there's the Tulsa area, no severe storms, just the beginning stages. Look at how fast these storms popped up though. This shows you that second bit of energy that's moving in. Look at that explosive thunderstorm development. And unfortunately, that's going to be moving in as the instability and the low-level shear starts to return. So, yeah, because they don't always show the sirens when there's rotation. Yeah, you're very welcome. I don't know. Dan is sick. I'm thinking we'll get snow tomorrow. I know. The weather system's coming in if I'm sick. That's for sure. I'm struggling. But, Zach, I'll tell you, this guy right here, solid as a rock.
Thanks, Dan.
Yeah, you
Appreciate it.
really helped me out today. When you're sick, you kind of have like brain fog and you just don't think clearly, and everything is not working as fast as normal. But I'm gonna have the strength to get through this. So roads will be okay on Saturday, David. I do think so. It all depends on how much snow falls. They're going to be able to know, and they'll make the call on Monday. Monday night
Yeah.
when they see how much snow might fall. So, uh, yeah, Savannah, very good point. Don't rely on tornado sirens. Have backup alerts. Such an important thing. Uh, let's go back to Mega Doppler real quick because we want to watch the radar very closely. Could. That's a big if. I know. Could. Everything in the weather is could. There's never a clear cut. I have never worked a clear cut snow case. It's just not. It just doesn't happen. Even the big snow of 2011, it wasn't going to be that big until that night when the models finally brought something up. Look at this lightning though from Huntsville. We're watching this. You can see the rain coming down, and every now and then some really good flashes of lightning. This is that storm that's coming right towards the Huntsville area. So what I'll do is I'll bring up Mega Doppler, and then I'm going to come over here. And I will have to get going here pretty soon. But of course, after the 10 o'clock, unless storms threaten earlier, we will do another live update. If there's weather that's happening before that, then obviously we're going to be on. But let's check this out here. I'm going to bring up that Huntsville camera. Yeah, I don't think I can move it. So anyways, let's see if we get some lightning out of that. There's been some pretty big time flashes out of that, looking off to the southwest from Huntsville. Every now and then, some pretty good cloud to ground lightning strikes. So let's see. I'm going to keep it on the camera, then we won't lose it. You're very welcome for the update, Roby. I have surgery in quiet east of Rogers. Yeah, there's absolutely nothing going on. Oh, there comes a lightning strike. There we go. Knew we'd get one. So the next round coming up from Oklahoma has a lot of energy with it, and that's going to be, I think, some severe storms that come through here. We do want to look at the mesoscale discussion, don't we, Zach?
Yeah, we should.
Yeah, let's check that out. I
Check
haven't
it
looked
out.
at that yet. This is the mesoscale discussion. And you can see the area, 40% chance of a watch. So that's most likely going to include parts of northwest Arkansas and the River Valley. So this is the last thing I'm going to say because I've got to get going here to get ready for the news. But there's a look at the line coming in. And so if you can see that line that moves in, will be clipping most of the area. And I don't think it falls apart. And the ingredients for severe weather will be increasing throughout the rest of our evening. And so that's why we're going to be watching. No tornado warnings at the moment. Yeah, Gentry, Gravette, Decatur, everything's fine right now. But remember, that line is coming in, and I do expect that to move in by about 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight. So if you're wondering what time, let's show you that. And then we really do have to get ready for this show. We got a bunch of different changes since 5:30 and 6.
Yeah.
Right, Zach?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we'll look at the time here. Anything you want to add while I'm drawing this on here?
Yeah, it's a short window where the severe storms are possible, but the threat is definitely real for us.
Yeah.
And it's not, it's a strange time of year. We're in January, but any time of the year there can be severe weather.
Yeah, and tornadoes. There can definitely be tornadoes in
Yep.
January. In fact, it's pretty common with strong systems like this in the winter. So going back to this is the timing of that line. So Tahlequah 10:10, Fayetteville coming in a little after 11 o'clock. That is if the line doesn't speed up. So Jace, he said your weather app shows a tornado cell and there's nothing active. That might be that cell that's southeast of Fort Smith, which had a false couplet. And we already pointed at that. A lot of lightning southwest of Huntsville. So there's the timing of that. Here's the good news. I'm going to be here. Zach's going to be here. We've got a 9 o'clock show on Fox. Anna is back there getting ready for the show. Anna, anything that viewers want to know that what's coming up on Fox 24?
A whole A block of winter weather prep and preparedness and tips. So we got it all. Whole A block.
Yeah. Big January tornado outright in 2000 and in 99. 99 was the biggest tornado outbreak ever in Arkansas's history. It was January 21st, 1999. I don't think that this system deserves the snow tie, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's moving too fast. The wraparound's falling apart, and the storm part's supposed to be completely gone. Alexis, probably around, I'm going to say, for you, maybe like 3 a.m. We will go live right after the 10 o'clock news, unless a tornado looks imminent. And if that happens, then we'll go live way before, as soon as that starts happening. Okay, guys, I got to run. Really do. Thank you so much for watching, man. We got a great crowd. Come back and watch us again at 10 o'clock. We'll give you more weather knowledge and information. I chased that May 3rd, 99 tornado and more. That was pretty wicked. So we'll catch you later. Bye, guys. God bless. Have a good one.